Hi, James. I'm on my roof. No, I'm on my roof. Oh, God, that's so bright. I can't see. I really just wanted to show you what the weather can be like the other half of the time when it's not pouring rain. We get this kind of beautiful thing, and there's not a cloud in the sky. The other thing I want to talk to you about is what happens when it's nice and beautiful and sunny and there is no rain for a while. Especially what happens when it's sunny and beautiful and it doesn't rain, and that happens so much so that you don't have water anymore. So as you and I, and probably the rest of the world knows, California's kind of in a really major drought right now. It's kind of scary. Last year, California had the lowest amount of rainfall it's ever had in any year since 1895, which is when we started counting to see how much rainfall there actually was per year. The rainfall and winter storms are really only half the picture. We do get a lot of rain from winter storms. Generally, most of the rain in California comes during December and January. And even though this past January was the driest January on record of all Januaries ever, that's still only half the picture. The other big issue is snowpack. There's not enough snow in these years to keep replenishing all of the reservoirs that we have in California, many of which are very, very low. People have many different opinions on what has caused a drought and how to fix it, but none of them are really succinct. But they all do agree on one thing: we have no water. No water. And that's that California doesn't have water. This is so much of a problem that the California government has actually done something about the drought. And when I say do something, I mean they just told people to use less water. California Governor Jerry Brown did sign a $1 billion drought package on March 26th. The package, kind of an overall deal, was trying to fix infrastructure and repair infrastructure and make things more efficient and better and try to get more potable water. What happens with snowpack is as it melts, it replenishes the reserves and ponds and lakes that we pull a lot of our water from. And the problem is snowpack levels are at about 20% of what they generally are at this time of the year, and they've really been that low for the whole year. The drought is now affecting somewhere around 37 million people in the state of California alone. This doesn't count other droughts in other parts of the country, especially with Texas and Colorado, which are both in pretty severe droughts as well. Another scary number to think about is that less than 1% of the state is not in a drought right now. The actual number is somewhere around 0.16%. 0.16. That's less than 0.2. That's so much less than 0.5%. It's less than half of a percent. Our state is scarily out of water. And there are other issues that come with this instead of just not having enough drinkable water. There's a lot of ecological issues too, with ecosystems not having enough water to support all the species that they have inside of them. Also, for some of these reservoirs, we use them for power. And when there's not enough water to flow through the dam, we don't really get as much power as we should. One of the things that I'm trying to think about is what's going to happen during summer camp. Because last year, I remember hiking the Pine Ridge Trail, and up there's a tiny little stream that comes out of the side of the hill, and there wasn't very much water there last year, and I have no clue what's going to be up there this year. Probably, honestly, nothing, which is really kind of scary. It's also going to be really hard to explain to little kids about this whole water crisis thing, because it's probably not an issue in locations where they're from unless they're from California. Maybe we should just put a big pipe from the northwest down to California. We got a lot of water up here. Kind of rains a lot. Anyway, that's kind of the beginning of that. There's a lot of more details I can go into, and I might later, but right now, it's just kind of really all I want to talk about that, because it's really scary, and I don't like it, and I like having water. Anyway, updates on my life. I finally know where I'm living, which is going to be great. I'm living in the bottom floor of one of the dorms. I know actually where, the room I'm in next year, which is kind of crazy and a little strange. Also, so after I made my video on Monday, I went rock climbing, and then I did something to my arm, and I don't know how I did it or what I did. There used to be a line right here. You can't see it. You can see the bruise, though. I don't know how I bruised there. But basically, I either pulled or strained or tore or did something to my bicep, and I couldn't straighten it for about a day and a half. That was fun. Don't worry, Mom. I did something. I went to the health center, and then they're like, we think you pulled something. Did you work out? So yeah, now I can kind of fully straighten my arm, but not really quite yet. Also, you cut your hair, and it's kind of freaking me out. I mean, my hair's been all over the place for forever. I had a bowl cut, and then I had shorter hair, and then I had really long hair, and then I cut it all off, and it looked like I was going to go into the army. But you've always had the curl. That's what I've always called it. It's the curl. I've also called it the don't, because your do is a don't. I also cut my hair like that when I was a freshman in college, and you kind of look a lot more like me than I thought you did. It's kind of freaking me out in that way, because I kind of forget that we're related every now and then, because you look more like Mom's side of the family, and I look more like Dad's side. But then you did that, and now we look more similar, and it's weird. But that's kind of expected, because, we are related a little bit, maybe. Maybe you're adopted. Maybe I'm adopted. And on that cliffhanger...